Hello, everyone. Today we're going to read about Natalie Brookson. She was a student and she disappeared April 30th. She was going to school at the University of Illinois, Chicago, and she was found dead in Lake Michigan. The caveat is that her boyfriend is also missing, and that's him, Daniel. Daniel Sotelo was set to graduate with a master's degree in organic chemistry and never showed up for his graduation. So he disappeared right around the same time she did. He has not been found. We do not know how Natalie died. This just happened really recently that she was found. And now we are going to read about her situation. Was it suicide, foul play, or an accident? And also what happened with Daniel and where he might be. So it's always fun to see what the cards reveal. I'm going to turn a light on in here because it's getting a little darker when the sun goes behind the clouds. Okay, so let's see about Natalie. Let's just do a quick shuffle here and see if this perhaps was a suicide. Did they both just wander into Lake Michigan and drown themselves? Pretty horrible thought. Let's see what the cards say about that. But of course, if you've been doing this long enough with me, and that's interesting, justice, because that was the card on the bottom just a minute ago when I shuffled, does make me think perhaps justice will be served in this case, or at least the truth will come out. Just because that card, even though I'm not looking for it, it keeps popping up. So let's see what we've got going on. It's kind of reminiscent of the Brian Laundrie, Gabby Petito. The girl's been found dead, and now we're wondering where the guy is and what happened to the girl. So, she could have died somewhere else and then he dumped her there if he was responsible at all. Maybe he wasn't. But let's just ask about Natalie's death being a suicide. Natalie Brookson, death being a suicide. Tell us about Natalie's death being a suicide. Both seem to have a lot of promising careers. It's a real tragedy when this happens to young people like that. Tell us about her death being a suicide. Well, unfortunately, that is the death card, and I got that with her death being a suicide. So it does make me wonder if perhaps they both, I don't know what card I could have possibly gotten that would have spoke to suicide more than the actual death card. It makes me think she did commit suicide. That's gory and terrible, but that's basically what the cards are saying. Um, yeah, it's not looking good for that. Let me ask about Daniel committing suicide because we don't know where he is. So tell us about Daniel. Daniel Soleto, I think. Sotelo. Daniel Sotelo. Give us the truth on whether or not he committed suicide. Daniel Sotelo. It just seems crazy that two young people like that would do something like that. But let's see about him committing suicide. All right, we're going to go with this card right here. Yeah, it looks like he did too. I know. The moon card, that tells me that he's in the water as well. It's crazy, but it looks like they may have committed suicide. Nutty, I know. But that's kind of what I'm getting. Remember that reading with Corey Gaucher when she jumped in the water and killed herself? We got this moon card when they were looking for her in that water. I think he's in the water. And unfortunately, it looks like they decided to commit suicide, which sounds absolutely bizarre. But that's what the reading seems to be saying. It's really nuts. Let me ask about where Daniel can be found. Who knows if he's in Lake Michigan, he may never be found, but we'll ask where he can be found. This is the tricky part because there's not a lot of landmarks in Lake Michigan. It's water. So the cards may not have anything to give us, but I'm going to ask for the most noticeable landmark that people would understand and be able to identify, that most people in that area. So by where he is. So let's ask about that. Most noticeable landmark by where Daniel is. This, I don't know why this is reminding me of Fort something. Is there a Fort something around there that's kind of like, that's the first thing that came to me, Fort, whatever, in that area by Lake Michigan? That's what's coming to me. Hmm, strange. But that's what I would look for. Is there a fort? Fort something by Lake Michigan. Okay, and by that area, I don't even know where they went. I mean, Lake Michigan is huge, but that's where I would look. Um, let's ask if he'll be found. Will Daniel be found? Will Daniel be found? Yeah, but he'll be found just like what was her name? Natalie. Unfortunately, remember I got this card for when we were asking if Brian Laundrie would be found. And we got the tower, and just as Natalie fell, it looks like Daniel did as well. Not looking good for that situation. I don't think he is alive anymore. This is a pretty bad reading. I mean, we've got the death card showing up. We've got the moon. We've got the nine of wands, which is that protection. And for whatever reason, a fort something came through with that. And then we've got the tower. So, it doesn't look good for Natalie or Daniel. I unfortunately, from this reading, am inferring that they both very well may be passed. Um, I'll probably wait because I don't like to post this when, with the family still looking for him and stuff. I don't want to, they're hoping he comes home. So it is May 16th, 2022 at 11:58 a.m. Central Time. I'm not going to post this because, again, am I the one that should be putting things online saying Daniel is probably passed just like Natalie? I don't like to do that to families. I do have families contact me and ask me to read about their loved ones, and I tell them, then I will do it. I will let you know the truth. I'm not going to sugarcoat it at that point. But his family has not contacted me. I'm not doing this reading for his family. So let's wait. Let's see when the information is revealed, and or I will wait a few months. I like to wait until the family's basically being quoted in the paper saying, we don't think that person's alive anymore, like Sierra Breland's family did. They are literally saying they don't think she's alive. So at that point, if they're saying they don't think she's alive, I don't feel terrible doing a spread that says probably not alive. But Daniel, yeah, he's not alive from what I can see. And I will post this at a later date, though. It is what it is, I try to be as respectful as I can for families and what have you. So, all right, people, take care.